The following announcement is paid for by the Wrestling with Nerds.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
The name's Nukem, Duke Nukem, and you're watching the Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast. I don't know why, but you are.
This honky tonk man, greatest intercontinental champion of all time, and you're watching Wrestling with Nerds podcast. Yes, that's my favorite. Shake, rattle, and roll.
What's going on, wrestling nerds, and welcome to the first ever edition of the Wrestling with Nerds award show. TJ, what did you call that?
The Nerdies.
The Nerdies. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to this evening's first time ever event. We polled a crud ton of people, got a list of matches, superstars, storylines, entrances, PLEs.
Apparently, I compiled a good list because it was used for most of this.
For the most part, with some alterations.
Well, yeah, and some edits. I mean, I figured y'all would input, but I mean, I had a good solid core.
But we had a really good group of people give us input on what they thought. So I want to give a huge shout out to everybody who helped put this list together, who helped determine, honestly, who wins. And as reading everything, because I'm the only one that knows the who won, I guess. After reading it all, there was little to no bias in anything. For the most part, it's kind of like how we call it on the channel. There is, that was good or that was bad. That was it. Did I enjoy it? Did I not like it? Was this better? Was this not better? But Ryan, how you doing, pal? This was kind of your idea.
I'm doing good. Yeah, I thought, it's the end of our first full go around year with the podcast, so I thought it was time appropriate for us to do our award shows for the end of the year. Keep in mind, guys, we really don't have all the awards are based off of WWE product because that's what we follow more than anything. Like we've
we
said
don't
multiple.
try. Not like we don't try.
I was gonna say, like we have said multiple times, we have tried to watch the other products as much as possible. I do enjoy TNA. I just haven't had a chance to really stay in touch with TNA. I've tried multiple times with AEW, and it's just there's nothing there. It's the same thing. We always have this discussion where some of us don't like it, most of us don't like it. It's just how it is. So these awards are our WWE wrestling awards, but that's really the only company that matters anyway. So let's have at it.
It's where everybody strives to be. And for our very, very first award, Ryan, what do you have?
These are the nominees for Entrance of the Year. The first nominee is Seth Rollins at WrestleMania 40. We didn't specify either night, but not just to keep in touch. Was it night? I forget
Both
what night
of them
was.
were night 2.
Okay, so night 2, he came out dressed as like with the Mummers for the Mummers Parade that's in Philadelphia. The next nominee is Jey Uso at Backlash in France. That was.
You could have got Vertigo. Yeet! And they had the Fireflies, if you remember right.
Yeah. Next up is Sami Zayn in Montreal for that episode of Monday Night Raw.
One of the loudest pops I've ever heard.
The next nominee is Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 40. And the final nominee is Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania 40.
Which, if you guys don't remember, Rhea Ripley was brought out with Motionless in White.
So much, yes.
And
TJ,
she was into it, if you remember right, all the way to the ring.
She loves the song anyway. It fits
Yeah.
her perfectly.
TJ, of these, before we give the award to one of these, who in this category has your attention?
I mean, I've been doing it to close the show for how long now? But I mean, I won't lie. The Sami Zayn in Montreal was special. It actually, if you remember right, starts with Jay leaving the arena after escaping from the Judgment Day, and he finds Sammy standing outside. So it's kind of tied together. But definitely Jay and Backlash and Leon was crazy.
AJ, your thoughts?
Well, after seeing the list of our nominees, I thought Rhea was top of my list. It was top of my list mostly because you have that live band playing them out. Brings you back to Triple H a couple times. Cult of Personality. You have Rev Theory at WrestleMania 30. You have all these really good wrestlers getting brought out to the ring, and it's something different than it's not just being played over the speakers. It's you're watching the live band play.
And Rhea and Chris Motionless, like eye to eye, was nuts.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Buddy was like, "Hey, oh, whoa, too close."
Yeah. For me, it's the same. It's Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania 40. I have watched. I have made it through night 2 or night 1. Either one of the WrestleMania nights. I think I've actually made it through watching it maybe only once, but I have literally gone back and rewatched her entrance a million times. To see how enthused she is when that song comes on and her singing it as she's coming to the ring, and her getting so hyped because she has the actual band there. It's kind of like Cody returning 2 years ago at WrestleMania.
Mhm.
Like when I can watch that back right now after watching it
Chills,
a million
man.
times, and the hair stands on my arms and I get chills. And I've told you guys this once or twice before. I only ever get chills on ring entrance music, and it's been twice. And that's when Hulk Hogan's Real American music hits in the WWF, and when Cody Rhodes' entrance at WrestleMania 2 years ago against Seth Rollins, and Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania 40.
We got to live that, man.
And it was that also too makes it more special for us when
Well,
we got to see it in person.
But it going back to Cody Rhodes, on that night too, you have Brandy.
Yes,
The full skull outfit. That was why I threw it on there as a
Brandy
nomination.
the one that I'm shocked that didn't get nominated, and I think I had it on my list of nominations, is The Rock from WrestleMania 40 with the big flamed out bull and the whole video game entrance thing. I think that's an honorable mention for sure.
Yeah, I can see that.
But there's been so many really cool entrances for this year that, yeah, Sammy in Montreal was special for the whole one camera shot the whole time. I remember that being pretty significant of that whole entrance was there was no cuts. Jay in France, the decimals were off the chart.
Phone alerts were going off.
Yeah, and then you had the MVP of WrestleMania 40 with his amazing entrance. I mean, if you don't think that Seth Rollins was the MVP of WrestleMania 40, you're delusional. And his mummers were hilarious, were fun. So AJ, you got the results. Who wins the entrance of the year for the first award from the Wrestling with Nerds?
Wrestling has more than one royal family.
Really?
Congratulations to Cody Rhodes for WrestleMania 40 entrance with the skull and Brandy and winning the WWE World Title.
And just
that night.
Just a shout out with all 15 people that voted that helped us. It wasn't close. I'm not gonna give numbers.
I mean, great. I mean, my winner is definitely my pick was definitely Rhea. That
Yeah,
one still gets
mine-
me in
mine
the
as well.
feels. But congratulations to Cody for winning the first Wrestling with Nerds award. We'll make sure we're gonna tweet that out and see if we can get a reaction out of him.
I have a feeling he's getting a few more. We might want to wait and send a bulk text,
All
bulk
right.
tweet,
On the next
bulk X.
one.
How do you send an X or is it a tweet? I'm lost.
On the next one brings us to a very year-round aspect in the world of the WWE. Ryan,
This is the nominees for storyline of the year. The first nominee is the OG Bloodline versus the Timu Bloodline. The second nominee is Finish the Story, the Cody Rhodes Saga. CM Punk Must Die, the feud between CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. Cody is a Hypocrite, the Kevin Owens and the KO Cody Rhodes Saga. And then the Terra Twins versus the Judgment Day. TJ, which one stands out at you?
You know, they're all really good, but I think the one for me, and this might surprise a lot of people, that hits, you know, the length. Like you said, you think of the whole year and how it is. You're talking some of those people only are involved in that story for half the year. It's not the Bloodline. I think everybody would peg me for that one. I'm gonna go with Punk and Drew.
that's a very
AJ?
that's a very strong pick. But you also got to think about it. That's only half the year. Well, not half the year.
Well, I mean,
It's been the full year.
Yeah,
It's been since the Royal Rumble.
and for them to just be able to
even through the injury, I mean, it was still relevant.
That's
capture us.
that's the amazing part
But-
of that story. Is that's 4 to 6 months with no real contact and
But-
still kept you in depth with the story.
You're 100% right with that. That was my bad misspeaking there for a second. But there's one storyline in this whole thing that when I looked over at one of my best friends when his music was hitting was all teared up at WrestleMania, and that is the exact same time as Michael Cole said, "Finish the story." I just got chills. Oh.
To finish the story, it was a great story. Don't get me wrong. Punk Must Die is the one I voted on this one. The story being, like I said, the being able with no contact to keep the story going, and the idea of the hatred among them two all year long, and how in different ways they were able to interact with each other, made that story must see. Honorable mention out of this one is the Judgment Day Terror Twins one for me is what kept Raw
Strong for a good
must watch
2
for
months.
months.
Yeah.
So I mean, I would give Terror Twins and Judgment Day definitely the honorable mention on this category. But like I said, I voted for Punk and Drew. I thought it was a good story through the whole year, and it doesn't look like it might not be over with yet. So, AJ, you have the winner.
I do have the winner. It is
You realize
CM Punk
you
versus
realize
Drew
if Drew was
McIntyre.
watching this, he'd be pissed because you played Punk's music and we don't have it.
Sorry, CM Punk's music is so easy to hit in a 4-second soundboard because the you know exactly what it is.
I don't think we have.
We don't have the swords.
I don't think we have a Drew sound clip.
No, we don't.
Better get that because he's kind of a nut.
Kudos to both Punk and Drew for holding on to us for the whole year. Kind of wild that you could have, like Ryan said, no contact. Just I come out 1 week, you come out the next week, and we just keep this thing going till I'm healthy.
And we got to see it live, how it kind of took turns at Mania.
All right.
Our next award TJ, there was a guy that used to be the ring announcer in ECW, and he used to make a statement when something shocked him and was totally out of left field. Do you remember what that line is? It's like 3 words.
Oh, it's also 3 letters.
It's 3 letters, it's 3 words. It's when it's totally unexpected.
Now you're making me draw a blank and I'm scared.
Well, guess what? This is the nominees for the oh my god moment of the
Oh.
year.
That. Gotcha now.
I was
It's
expecting.
like,
you to-
did I take a test I didn't prepare for?
The nominees are the return of the Wyatt family, the Damian Priest cash-in at WrestleMania 40,
Punk and Drew.
the brutality of Drew versus Punk at Hell in a Cell, or at Bad Blood Hell in a Cell match, sorry. And the final nominee, The Undertaker, returns at WrestleMania 40
Oh.
to help finish the story.
I mean, I'll start off with the last one you mentioned. I wasn't thinking we were going to get Taker.
That's because everybody was expecting the glass to shatter.
Yes. Am I mad that we didn't get Austin? No. It was cool to see Taker because he was sitting behind us 5
Yeah.
minutes before.
It was like a half hour. He was literally behind us.
Yeah, and then Damien's cash in. Oh my god, the minute Drew to
Yeah,
Punk,
crotch chop Punk. Yeah,
it was over.
yeah.
It was over. And then the Wyatt 6 debut. I still don't know how Gable is alive because it looked like he took a bullet to the head.
Yeah.
And
The destruction backstage was memorable.
that
About
brutality,
the only thing from that story that's memorable.
that brutality in the Hell in a Cell match between Punk and Drew is not something that we've been longing for, that kind of brutality in wrestling for a while. But in a way, yeah, because they killed each
Definitely.
other and we
Well, throw it back to another Hell in a Cell with Cody and the Peck. I mean, if that, right, like it hits that level of, oh my god.
Yeah, it was more of that we were expecting a Hell in a Cell match with no blood, nothing really major, none of that kind of stuff. And we had blood, which was a shocker for everybody, really, because you don't expect that nowadays. And then to see both of them, and then the amount of carnage that they created in that Hell in a Cell match was something that will be talked about in this era for a while, in my opinion.
and I think it's just going to escalate.
Yeah.
I think that was them setting the bar for how it's going to be for a while.
Any of these 4 could easily win this in any other year except for being all together this year.
Hasn't it been
Kinda
a great
deal.
year? Hasn't it been a great year?
The Undertaker return for me,
I still get chills.
was
rewatching it.
unexpected because again everybody was expecting the glass shattering. But it was also really cool for me because it was really cool for the 3 of us to say, because how many more times are you gonna see the Undertaker appear in a ring and deliver a choke slam? We may be that last group that
Against
sees
The
that.
Rock.
That too, which was the reason why people are kind of like against it, is because they didn't really ever have a long feud against each other. So it's like, why is Taker here doing it? But still,
Well, if you want to claim you're the final boss, I think the real one showed up and said, "Hey, remember me?"
yeah. I went with the Punk Drew brutality just because of exactly that. The
Because literally
brutality.
the whole match was an oh my god match.
Yeah. And AJ? Give it to me. Wow. Okay. I'm
That was my
perfectly
pick.
fine with that. I'm perfectly fine with The Undertaker's return at WrestleMania 40.
We lived it. That pop was insane.
That
What
pop
was more of an
nuts.
insane pop though? Was Taker's pop bigger than Cena's pop, or was Cena's pop bigger than Taker's?
Well, everybody knew Cena
No.
was coming, though. I mean, everybody around us was like, "Oh, here comes Cena!" Like, wait for it.
Yeah, yeah, and everybody's like,
biggest-
"Oh, it's gonna be Austin."
Once it
It's gonna
started,
be
once it
Austin.
started with Jay and Jimmy, once it started, everybody knew. Okay, here comes the train of the Bloodline
Yeah.
rules part, and
Everybody
it's like,
around us was, "Oh, it's gonna be Austin. Austin's coming. Oh, here we go. Here we go." Gong.
And
Whoa!
and
Just what-
Seth, even
just-
and in any
just-
other year, Seth could have got it with the Shield music. Let's not play
just
that
while
off.
we're on the topic of everybody around us on night 2, to the 3 assholes that sat behind us at WrestleMania,
The
you do
final
not-
boss.
you do not win an award this year except for being jackasses of the year. That is yours. I don't know who you were because I didn't want to have a conversation with you, but you are definitely the jackasses of the year. And I broke AJ on that one.
They were
Wasn't
Ryan's
expecting that.
final boss.
Well,
Alright,
speaking
So
speaking of WrestleMania 40,
that was our
the
first
next
3. We've done 3 so far. Cody Rhodes' entrance at WrestleMania 40. Punk and Drew with storyline of the year. And then, oh my god, moment of the year has been Taker and Taker at WrestleMania 40. Now, Ryan? Now
we're
you
gonna
make it.
go straight to PLE of the year. And the nominees are, let me scroll up here to find them. Yeah, he didn't send me that one.
I did. It's Elimination Chamber in Australia. WrestleMania 40 from
Oh,
Philadelphia.
okay, I see. I found it.
Backlash in France. And SummerSlam in Cleveland.
One of these things is not like the other.
Hey, I got a quick question for you too. How many of them did you go to?
Fight me.
One.
I went to 2.
Fight me.
Yeah, but at least we didn't have to smell that lovely Cleveland air.
I'm pretty sure it was the guys next to him. It was
I
hot.
slept just fine in the car for 3 hours before the show started because it was 100 and some degrees.
Just happy nobody walked up to your car. Are you alive?
Oh, you guys did that to me at Mania.
Dude, we did.
All 4 of these pay-per-views were fun, and I definitely are the top 4 pay-per-views of the year in my opinion. The crowd in Perth for Rhea and others was absolutely amazing.
They were fire all night.
I want to give Perth the credit just because everybody here in the States cried and bitched and complained because they had to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning to watch a pay-per-view.
So,
I was perfectly fine with it.
I think we were all in a Discord. No, I don't know if TJ made it. I think TJ made it by
No.
the end of it
He didn't make it. I was there. You showed up an hour later.
because I was on the front. I was like, oh, but it starts now.
I would have been better off just staying up for it than trying to wake up for it.
I feel like when we do PLE of the year, we should exclude WrestleMania, considering WrestleMania has 2 nights and it's such a fantastic card. But it's WrestleMania, and it is what it is. We're biased because we were definitely there and enjoyed.
Even if I
every
wasn't
moment.
there, I think it still would win.
SummerSlam, a solid card all the way around. LA Knight and Logan Paul, United States Championship. The return of Roman Reigns. Let's not forget, Jelly Roll chokeslammed the shit out of Austin Theory at SummerSlam. And I can tell you from being there, that got over like Rover. That was one of the biggest pops of the entire night was Jelly Roll chokeslamming Austin Theory. Liv and Rhea for the women's title with Dom turning on Rhea. The Gunther Damian Priest match where Finn turns on Damian. A rehash of WrestleMania with the Bloodline rules match type deal. SummerSlam was a solid card, but Backlash in France, that was AJ and Cody and
I think Jay and Gunther.
Jay and Gunther. Did Damien? I can't remember off the top of my head. Did Damien have a match at Backlash? He would have been the world champion.
Maybe it was Jay and Damien. Or I don't know.
It would have been Jay and Damien. It would have been Jay versus Damien. Solid. I mean, the crowd was more electric than the card was, really. But you have to give the nod here to WrestleMania 40. No problems.
Yeah, well, it's like you were looking at the screen. WrestleMania 40 wins by 12.
Yeah, WrestleMania 40, without a doubt, was definitely the pay-per-view PLE of the year.
I mean, we could throw that one up against WrestleManias of history.
Um,
I don't know if you
The
could do that
next-
because it's 2 nights.
the next category is the NXT Superstar of the Year. Now, this is male and female, as you will see from the nominations. The nominees are your current NXT World Champion, Trick Williams, your current NXT Women's Champion, Roxanne Perez, your current NXT North American Champion, Tony D'Angelo, All Ego, Ethan Page, and your final nominee is Oba Femi. AJ?
Everybody in here has had match of the year caliber in NXT. Everyone.
True.
I have to give a nod towards Oba just for the fact of his stand and deliver match with Briggs and Dijak. Holy crap. TJ, what do you say about big guys hitting each other?
Big meaty men slapping meat.
And it was
Stole that from
fantastic.
Big E.
I think we can all agree that other than a couple matches at WrestleMania, that triple threat match at Stand and Deliver was our favorite match of the entire weekend. Those guys
It was so good.
was amazing. I will. Give
I didn't
it
know
that.
who he was before that match because I had been out of touch with NXT, and I
Yeah.
have paid attention because of that. I put him on that list. That is my pick. There's a
Yeah.
reason he was on that list, and I like Trick Williams, but that is my pick.
Tony D and the family are very much growing on me.
I
Tony-
wish he'd have won.
To-
I wish he'd have won
Tony-
at Stand to Deliver.
Tony D'Angelo very well next year could be my NXT Superstar of the Year. He has, he has grown on me, and he has gotten so much better in the ring. He's gotten in better physical shape than what he was. He looks better. It looks like $1 million now. He's the NXT North American Champion. Very well could be the next NXT World Champion after this run's over with. But the guy that held the North American title before him is the guy, in my opinion. I like Trick Williams, but there's parts of Trick Williams that
I think he needs more talking lessons. He's got the
There's-
ability. I
there's
just feel like
even-
he fumbles way too
there's
much on
even
his
some
words.
match stuff that he just is still very green on. Roxanne Perez is fantastic as a female wrestler. She's one of the best. But I can't put her above Oba Femi. Oba Femi to me was the superstar of the year in NXT.
And don't forget about Ethan Page. How come him coming in with a ball of piss and vinegar?
I think you're gonna see more out of Ethan Page next year than you did this year. And this
I like
year
the
he was
turn
all
he's
over the
starting to
place.
make because he is so down on himself
Oh,
right now.
He made that turn. If you tuned into NXT last week, he absolutely murdered Javon Evans with a steel chair. Ethan Page is back to being nothing but ego, and it's gonna get fun. Another ones you can put here in that nomination spots for here. Fallon Henley
I was gonna say
definitely
Fallon
deserves it. She definitely turned a page this year, turning from face to heel and then aligning herself with JC Jane.
And not looking back.
And going 100% full throttle on it. Lexus King is starting to get to that level. Now he's the Heritage Cup champion. Trying to break that whole stigma of he's not his father's son. I really enjoy it. The other ones that I really enjoy in NXT, Shawn Spears is very enjoyable in NXT.
I think, but I think he's great on TV. What he does is great, but I think he's more beneficial to what you don't see.
I would have 100% agree with that. So, with that said, AJ, who is the NXT Superstar of the Year? Obafemi.
And just letting you guys know how close this was. Oba wins the vote by 2 over Trick, and Trick wins that over by Roxanne by 1.
That's tight, dog. That's tight.
It is
For
very
some
tight.
of us, we've had this discussion before. Trick Williams and Roxanne Perez's biggest downfall is the guy behind the broadcast booth. If that dude wasn't behind that table every week for them two, they would be more over, in my opinion, and for me to watch them. But when they're on TV, I want to hit the mute button because I am so sick of hearing Booker T. And that's a detriment to them. As much as he thinks it's probably a good thing for him, it's a detriment. It's never good to be somebody's one of the announcer's favorites. It always ends up getting you in trouble. So, next category for us is the Tag Team of the Year. Tag team wrestling fell off a lot, but I feel like it's starting to pick up and come back.
It
Especially
definitely
in
had a resurgence very recently.
especially in the WWE. The big, massive ladder match they had at WrestleMania to finally split the titles was a great way to split the titles. The introduction of 2 separate World Tag Team titles and WWE Tag Team titles, an homage to the history of the tag titles with the old style tag titles on SmackDown and the coin, the quarter, the copper penny throwbacks to the ones that are on Raw with the perfect circle titles. But some tag teams reformed this year. Some tag teams finally debuted this year. Some have taken a turn from their normal after 10 years.
Oh,
The nominees for Tag Team of the Year are the Motor City Machine Guns, DIY, the only female team nominated, Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair.
they owned that women's tag team division for the majority of the year.
Yes. The most comical tag team of all time, The Awesome Truth. And finally, your last nominees are The New Day.
Don't say it like that. They're up for an award here.
I was gonna announce them as the Dominic Mysterio of the tag team division.
Oof. Which
'Cause
is
all they do is
which is
get
really
booed.
good. So really
Yeah.
good, like
For me, it was a toss-up. Really, I gotta give it to Jade and Bianca just for being the
There.
tag champs
Yeah.
for so long. You could definitely give an honorable mention to DIY.
that's where mine went. Mine
Or
went to
even the
DIY.
New Day for the storytelling for this whole build-up for their 10-year anniversary for them to just turn on Big E.
Oh,
You could easily do that for New Day. But for me, unfortunately, it's Jade and Bianca. I'm not a Bianca fan, but
you are a Jade
They-
fan.
yeah, they're the tag team of the year.
So, TJ, your thoughts?
It's awesome.
And drum roll, please.
I'm sorry, but every time I see that man on television, all I want to say is one word that I can't say on the podcast.
But I'm
God.
just saying that story starts at the beginning of the year and it's just barely starting to wrap up as they've broke apart. And
There's nothing more better than a Philadelphia Duck, but Jade and Bianca should be the tag team of the year.
Well, here is your tag team of the year. Pick it up. No, you didn't get it? Breaking Fists.
Motor City Machine Guns?
Motor City Machine Guns with an overwhelming,
Really?
Wow.
overwhelming.
You've been here for 2 months?
They've been here since September.
They won by 4 over second place.
Wow. People just don't like Bianca.
They weren't even. They were last.
Yeah.
Actually, no. The New Day was technically last.
Interesting.
Well, now I gotta know. Well, was it DIY or was it Awesome Truth that was second?
DIY was second. Awesome Truth was third in the running.
You know what's sad? Austin Theory and freaking Dingus weren't even on there, and they won the titles at Romania.
Ryan said it that night. Nobody was going to remember them winning.
No, it should have been DIY and Awesome Truth.
You think about it. Well, think about it. We didn't. The Judgment Day aren't even a nominee on that list, and they've been the Raw Tag Champs since the beginning of the summer.
Yeah, but they just defended it for the first time in like.
I know, and now the Viking or the War Raiders are the tag team
Yeah.
champions.
Sad we won't get horns for that with a little bit.
Anyhow, so we're getting down to the nitty gritty. We're at our last 3 categories, and they are by far the 3 biggest categories on our list. Starting off this final 3, this 3-card main event is the match of the year, and the nominees are Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch at WrestleMania 40 for the Women's World Championship. Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley at SummerSlam for the Women's World Championship. The tag team match main event from night 1 of WrestleMania 40, Seth freaking Rollins and the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes versus the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns and the
Final Boss!
The Rock. From Bad Blood, the Hell in the Cell match between CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. And finally, the final nominee for Match of the Year, Roman Reigns as the WWE Champion defending against the Royal Rumble winner, Cody Rhodes.
Where do you boys want to start with this
AJ,
one?
AJ, your thoughts?
My thoughts are this is a very, very difficult group of matches to pick from. They're all phenomenal. They're all matches that I went back and watched in preparation today for this, so I can vote while it's still stuck in my head. But you can't go wrong with Cody and Roman in Bloodline Rules. Punk and Drew and Hell in a Cell, you heard us talk about that about a half hour ago. The tag team match, Cody and Seth, Roman and Rock. Wow. I don't think we'll ever see anything like that again. Liv and Rhea and Becky, both phenomenal matches telling 2 different stories. Rhea...
I don't disagree with you one bit on those 2. The Rhea Becky WrestleMania 40, Becky dealing with the flu and strep throat leading up to the match.
And she still put on a banger.
The freezing cold temperatures of night 1, and they opened the show with these guys. And like people have said before, your match starts as soon as you go out the curtain. So like the entrances for both of these girls were amazing. The match was fantastic. I think it caught people off guard, the finish of the match.
Yeah.
With Rhea getting the win. It was kind of not like a setup finish. Rhea and Liv were fantastic at SummerSlam. Everybody was kind of expecting the heel turn, though,
but
for Dom.
Expecting it doesn't mean it's actually going to happen.
True.
It wasn't really he was already the heel, wasn't he? Technically?
Well, true. It was the face turn for Rhea, which everybody was already cheering for her because God knows I've been cheering on her for years. But it was a great match between the 2. They worked the shoulder that Rhea. They definitely did the selling points. We did see butt cheek in that match. I'll never forget that.
How about the shoulder?
The tag team match from WrestleMania Night 1. It was a great match for a tag team match, but in my opinion, it was kind of marred by everything else going on, and it was kind of like got lost in the sauce type deal. Kind of the same way Roman and Cody was with all of the people coming out. Yeah, that's probably what's going to make it the match of the year is because of all the people that participated in the match. But the match itself kind of gets lost in all of those. And then you have Drew and Punk in the Hell in a Cell, which we've talked about the brutality makes that a great match. And I think that was my vote for match of the year. I don't even remember now because listening to all 5 of these matches, I want to go back and watch them all now because they sound amazing.
It was your pick.
My pick,
AJ, go ahead, T.
the Cody Roman match, an honorable mention match that wasn't on here, Bayley at Mania. That match for her to get the title back, you could tell she was into it. I didn't throw it on there because I thought somebody else would. Props to Becky for doing what she did at Mania with the flu. That was phenomenal.
Well, yeah, the other matches you could throw on there. I mean, Rhea's match at Elimination Chamber was fantastic. The men's Royal Rumble match easily could have been a match of the year candidate. The
Even the
amount of
women's.
drama that was in it. The women's was okay.
You
The
had
men's I felt
Jordan
was better.
Grace.
Yeah. Jordan Grace could have been an oh my god moment of the year as well. But I would have to give the nod to Punk and Drew. Bad Blood for sure. AJ, who is the winner?
And drum roll, please. While I have to click back on Discord.
I wasn't expecting it.
I mean, if I got it, I'm gonna use it. But it is CM Punk and Drew McIntyre in Hell in a Cell. Not surprised at all. Again, like what Ryan said, I kind of want to go back and watch it. Because blood, yay, ooh, cool.
Handful of beads. Blah.
Yeah, we were all taxed. It's gonna be taxed. They're taxed. Are
Nope.
those bracelet beads? All right, Ryan.
Let's not forget that bracelet was in Punk or Drew's
Yeah.
trunks, and then Punk gets it and kisses it, and then puts it on his wrist.
He was using it as a ring. You know what kind of ring I'm talking about.
All right. So the last 2 categories are pretty.
Oh, look, a chicken.
Self-explanatory.
Okay.
The nominees for female WWE Superstar of the Year are Tiffy Time, the WWE Women's Champion Nia Jax, Jade Cargill, Rhea Ripley, and the WWE World's Women's Champion Liv Morgan.
All of them. Literally all of them.
I
Rhea,
don't
with how good of
disagree
a
with you.
year she's had, even being hurt for some of it.
I really struggled with this one, to be honest with you, to pick a winner. And you probably all thinking, yeah, right, Ryan, you went with Rhea. I would have went with Rhea if she wouldn't have gotten hurt. But I also kept in the back of my mind that she kept the story going while hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And not being there, the story still revolved around Rhea, and it's revolved around Rhea all year long. But, and I really hate to say this, I have to give it to Liv Morgan. Her
Liv
beating
Morgan
Becky
revenge
for the world
tour.
title, her winning the world title and going on the revenge tour to destroy the Judgment Day of what it was to what it is now, to still being the women's world champion. Also, take note, she has beaten 4 of the nominees, or 3 of the nominees. She beat Nia, she beat Tiffany, she beat Rhea.
I'm surprised none of you added the Liv Morgan Revenge Tour as the storyline of the year, to be honest.
My honest thought process is if Rhea doesn't get hurt the night after WrestleMania, that the plan was for Rhea and Liv to go through all of this to get to SummerSlam,
Okay.
and then Liv would have won the world title. But seeing as Rhea got hurt and they had to call muggling, they went ahead and put the world title on her.
Did
Rhea
Rhea
was
get hurt? What we saw, or did Rhea get hurt at Mania, and that's how they explained it?
No, she got hurt the night of
We
Raw
watched it
when
happen.
when she
No,
hit the
but-
wall.
I know that was.
Hey guys, there's something going on over there. There's something.
I
going
remember
on.
that happening, but I was more curious: did she actually get hurt at Mania, and that's how they came up with
No.
writing her off TV?
Now, if you watch that from the other angle than the other angle we had, it's a stiff shot to that wall that has no give, and that's what hurts her shoulder and puts her out. Because you can hear her yell out in pain when Liv throws her against the wall because she wasn't expecting it to be as sturdy of a fake wall as
And
what
then
it is.
You got to think about the kind of bringing it back to the female superstar of the year, Tiffany Stratton, your Miss Money in the Bank winner, which WWE in the past has really fumbled on the female Money in the Bank winners. And literally at any time she can cash in, and we're all behind her. Whenever her music hits,
I
Yeah,
feel
but see,
like she's a year too early for this reward.
That's the
this
funny.
award.
That's the funny thing about her being the Money in the Bank champion is we're so convoluted and so mentality oriented that if you win the women's Money in the Bank briefcase, you are literally supposed to cash in within 48 hours. Otherwise, every time you come to the ring, it's a threat for you to cash it in. That they're literally going to make you starve and wait for her to cash in. And by the time she cashes in, everybody's going to be like, oh, it's about time.
Is it going to be
it's just-
Damien-esque? Are we going to wait till Mania?
It's just trying to build some prestige into the women's Money in the Bank briefcase that doesn't have it. And she's kind of doing that.
and then you have Nia, the force she's been all year.
Yeah, I mean, she was the queen of the ring, and then she wins the WWE Women's title at SummerSlam. Nia Jax, I know she gets a lot of hate, but Nia Jax is way better
happened? I
than what
blacked
she
out.
was a couple years ago.
And then you already talked about Liv Morgan, Jade
And then
Cargill coming in and
Jade's
just
just been amazing as a tag wrestler. It's time for the singles runs to start with her, which I think
Yes.
we're getting there. But yeah, it's what we expected.
So
The
Liv?
winner,
the winner. Watch me. Liv
I was gonna say,
Morgan.
our fill-in co-host there, Mr. Mike Campizio, will be nice and happy to know that
And
his
this
woman
was
finally
our
won
biggest-
something.
Well, let's not forget that's Nate's future ex-wife.
Well, no, true, but Campizio will be if you would have waited, you would have heard the dig at Campizio where I say that look, Liv finally can win something without somebody helping her win it.
This was
Well,
our
no,
biggest,
because if Rhea didn't get hurt, Rhea wins. So technically, Rhea helped her.
this was our biggest gap out of the whole awards show.
Like Michael Strahan or my ex-wife.
Like 12. Like 12
Was
the
it
difference.
12 Liv for
13,
Rhea?
13 for Liv, 1 for Rhea, and 1 for Tiffany Stratton.
Wow. That's because people hate Nia Jax and Jade Cargill.
I don't hate Jade Cargill. I hate that she's saddled with Bianca.
So before we get to the Superstar of the Year, let's run down our winners here this evening and kind of culminate the year of WWE before we give you the Superstar of the Year. The entrance, Cody Rhodes, WrestleMania 40. Storyline of the Year, Punk Must die, Drew McIntyre and CM Punk. Oh my God, moment of the year at WrestleMania 40, it's The Undertaker. PLE of the year is WrestleMania 40. NXT Superstar of the year, Oba Femi. Tag Team of the year, the Motor City Machine Guns. Then Match of the year, Punk versus Drew McIntyre at Hell in a Cell, or in Hell in a Cell. Women's Superstar of the year, Liv Morgan. Boys, if you had to give me a couple words to a sentence of the winners we have this year and what to expect for next year, what would they be? Ryan, I'll let you go first because TJ's looking like he's about to sneeze.
Next year's is the first thing that popped in my head talking about this year and to next year is skies are the limit. The WWF is on a roll, or WWE, sorry, is on a roll better than I've seen it in a long time. And it's made it fun again to watch.
They're also doing moves that make it feel real. Like their press conference for the kickoff for WrestleMania 40. I don't know if you guys remember that in Super Bowl weekend. That felt real. That smack going across Cody's face. Oof.
Yeah. So,
or just even before that.
I am so looking forward to 2025, even though I don't have any live events on my schedule. I'm looking so forward to some shows coming up. Royal Rumble being one, Elimination Chamber, WrestleMania 41 from Las Vegas. 2025 is going to be amazing.
TJ, thoughts of the year and going into next year?
Man, what a year. What a year of wrestling. I can't think of a time where I've been more engaged, more locked in, and the world maybe even to that too, like the TKO acquiring and the post-match, post-show press conferences, the access we're getting with all of the social media stuff now, it's awesome. I think it's the perfect thing we need at the perfect time, and they're capitalizing on it and hitting balls out of the park every week.
They're not just get on base. This has not become a just get on base and let's see what happens kind of thing. To kind of stay with that, TJ. They are hitting home run after home run after home run.
It's a dinger bod.
Not just with matches, with shows, with storylines, with months in a row. Yeah, do we get an occasional okay match or a sloppy match? Yeah, we do. But the next night on Raw or a couple days away on SmackDown, they pick it right back up and they like it never even happened. Like the mess ups never even happened. And you stay engaged. You stay locked in. Ryan, when we started this thing, or not started this thing, right before Mania, you're like, well, we're going to find out if we're going to be doing this show anymore when we get back. I don't see us stopping. I don't see us slowing down. I am more excited for Monday nights and Friday nights, Tuesday nights as well with NXT, than I ever have been, to the point where they're DVR'd and watched the next day, because I broadcast a wonderful league on All-Star 15 TV on Monday nights.
And Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
Yeah, but the Raw's on Monday.
Yeah, I know, but you still got to find time to get a Raw in there, get an NXT in there.
Before we go to Male Superstar of the Year, I want to ask you one important question. If somebody would ask you what is the key moment of 2024 for you wrestling, what is it? Like, what's the one thing?
Does it have to be a match? Does it have to be a PLE?
Any wrestling moment, anything. What is 2024 for you as a wrestling fan?
Yeah, does it have to be something that isn't personal?
No, I want it to be personal.
I've got 3 children in the other room that are supposed to be sleeping that aren't because I can hear them, and I've got them starting to get interested because of what we're doing here, because of where I've been this year and things I've brought home. There's a title belt back there behind this thing you can't see, this facade, and they're starting to get into it. And if that level can come in where they all of a sudden are now watching with me, which is what I hope. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Just think, if I'd have got you your chair already, they might already be hooked.
So
I mean, they might be sitting.
I don't
Off my chair,
I don't have one. I have a couple, and I'm breaking your rules, so I'm apologizing. My first wrestling one was hearing Samantha Irving's voice crack after Cody won.
Oh,
I was already crying.
That leads me into the next one, Ryan.
Oh, okay.
It leads me there. Looking over, like I mentioned before, watching that happen, all the goosebumps, we're all cheering, and then Ryan's like this next to me, rubbing his dream tattoo, tears going down his face. And then, was it the next day when we went to the World and you got something signed, or was that morning?
That would have been that morning. Because that would have been night 2 of WrestleMania, which was Sunday.
I enjoy a lot of things. I very much enjoy a lot of things. There's my enjoyment comes from, it's weird, seeing other people enjoying themselves. You right there, TJ putting ketchup on a Philly cheesesteak, his enjoyment off of that. But nothing in the world so far has come to the outside of my wedding. Hopefully she can hear me. Has come to watching my best friend come off of a platform with nothing to say outside of "Don't talk to me. I need to."
mystified. That's what we call that, AJ. We call that mystified.
Meeting his. I still have the photo of you just holding it.
Love you, brother.
Uh-huh.
And I get enjoyment off of seeing my best friends.
Yeah.
Doing stuff they like and us having a great time. But you crying from at night 2 of WrestleMania, and then you coming off the platform after meeting Hulk Hogan, is by far, outside of my wedding day and meeting Jessica for the first time and having the balls to ask her out, are some of the best moments in my life. And then dropping TJ off at the airport. It's not picking him up, dropping him off.
Well, because when we dropped him off, it was an earthquake.
No, that was before.
I mean,
it was
I
picking
agree,
up.
But without a doubt, our weekend at WrestleMania 20 I will
40.
never, or WrestleMania 40, whatever. I will never, that won't be topped for a while. I don't think so. Maybe ever.
Could have done without the ketchup on the freaking Philly cheesesteak, though.
Hey, at least you guys got to go to the Thursday night show.
You mean the Wednesday night show?
Whatever. I thought it was Thursday. Because I got in on Friday.
No, it was
No,
Wednesday.
Sam Roberts was on Wednesday. That was before you were even going to get there.
Well, whatever night it was, at least you got to go.
Thursday
great.
we were going to go eat Brazilian steakhouse, and then your ass
And I
got
thought that was the same night as Sam Roberts. That's
No,
all you two could
no.
talk about the next day.
No, Thursday for us was standing around waiting on the final guy to freaking show up after he was in 3.5 hours late to getting there. And then
don't forget the earthquake.
And then WWE kept trolling everybody by playing a video that started with his entrance music. And they literally, we wasn't even watching the screen anymore. We were watching the production guys standing there laughing their asses off because they're like, watch this. And they'd hit the play button and the Rock thing would kick on and everybody would stand up on their chairs. And then they realized it was the hype video. It was so great.
Well, either way, at
running
least
around-
you got to be there for that.
running around.
speaking of that, all the amazing people we met waiting for The Rock
Yeah,
that liked us on Facebook or followed us on YouTube. Thank you. Hopefully you guys are still around. Hopefully you guys are still tuning in. But thank you for killing those 2.5 hours while we were waiting for The Rock with us.
yeah. That the group, me and AJ, the first 2 days we were in Philadelphia, literally, I don't think we met a single person from the United States. When
That we actually
went to
talked to.
when we went to Sam Roberts, the ones sitting beside us were from Chile. Like one of them was from Ireland.
Yeah, behind us.
The Chile guy was behind us. The Ireland guy was
Oh.
beside us. The guy from Chile or the guy from Ireland had just got off the plane and come straight to the comedy show for Sam Roberts, which was one of the most fun events I've ever been to in my life.
What was
Mark
your two's
Henry.
favorite word of the weekend?
You can't say it on this
Philadelphia Duck?
episode, but the best story I've ever heard is about a Philadelphia Duck. Fans, if you ever run into R-Truth, ask him what a Philadelphia Duck
I mean,
is.
Mark Henry was good with that stand-up,
Mark-
too.
Mark
could at least
Henry's
went with the
stand-up
mutta.
was fantastic. If you go back and you look on Sam Roberts' social media, the picture taken in Philadelphia WrestleMania weekend with everybody on his show was taken by me. He asked me to take that photo.
Ryan, did you go back on his YouTube page and rewatch the good 20 minutes that he
have
put
not.
up there?
I have not.
We're there. You literally see the back of my shirt, and you want to know how you know it's my shirt?
Because it says nerds doing nerd things on the back of it?
Yes.
Because you were a walking billboard all week?
It worked.
I mean, we can't go. We can't tell any WrestleMania stories without the famous. Do you take credit card?
Oh my god. So Ryan didn't want to ask the question, and as they figured out through the whole weekend, I don't give it. I don't care. I literally don't care. And Ryan's
Unless
like,
it's your phone that needs to be used to take a picture and nobody knows how to run it, then you care.
that's not.
Shout out to Brandon. Can I get a real phone to take a photo with instead of this thing? I don't know how to take a photo thing with that thing.
You press the button. But no, they're all looking at stuff to buy, and they're like, I don't think they take card. I don't want to go stop at another ATM. That line was long. I don't want. Like, excuse me, sir. You guys take credit card? Oh yeah.
Yeah. $450 later, or $350 later, I have my poster that's signed by three of the greatest: Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, and Hulk Hogan.
Hey, at least you have the thing you paid a multiple amount of $100 bills for.
Oh, that was funny too, guys. If you haven't heard this story, Ryan and myself, we should have just grabbed a chair, sat down in the parking lot, and just watched TJ. Just circle for. Do you want the chair? Do you want the chair? Do you
TJ
want the
pedaling. The best part was when he would like take 2 steps towards groups walking out, and they would just go,
Nope.
Look, that one old man come walking out with 4 chairs, and TJ didn't even. He took a half a step, and the guy's like, no, and then his big ass disappears. We can't find him, and then we both get text messages of him with a chair at the car. It's like, how the hell did that happen?
How did he get by us? It's literally how it went. But let's close this up because we can talk about all the shenanigans that we had.
But yeah,
Ric Flair at the little.
Ric Flair
at
was gone.
Xfinity Live, he was off his ass. The nominees for the male superstar of the year are. I need TJ to drop his hands again. Yeah, that guy. Jey Uso is the first nominee. The next nominee is the Scottish psychopath, Drew McIntyre. A former WWE World Champion and Money in the Bank cash-in, Damian Priest.
We could say that about the next one too.
What?
CM Punk.
CM Punk's never been the WCW World, the WWE World Heavyweight Champion.
That's
It's only
about
been the World Heavyweight Champion.
Yeah.
But anyhow, AJ screws the pooch. It's CM Punk is the next nominee. And finally, the guy everybody comes to see and knows what you want to talk about, the WWE Champion, Cody Rhodes. DJ, who would you give the nod to?
So Cody Rhodes in his matches, well, just doing this for these guys. This year alone, this is every match he's had, whether it's live event, TV taped, TV, or PLE. 97 of them. He's only lost 3 of them.
For me, it's close between him and Jay.
Well,
And it's Jay's lack of winning.
You say Jay, but yeah, 83 matches, 50 wins, 31 losses. Then Damian Priest, 64 matches, 43 wins, 17 losses.
I mean, I'll give Jay one thing. Who has been in more top stories and not been a top champion this year than Jey Uso?
Then you got Punk, who is 5 matches, 3-2.
You counting the Rumble as a loss? Just out
No.
of curiosity.
No, it does not. And then you
Drew
got
McIntyre has had 47 matches and only 18 wins.
It's like his music. He lost.
But so TJ gives his nod to Cody.
I think I voted Jay too, but just thinking about it, I mean, like I said,
Mine went to Drew. I'll tell you that. Even with him losing a lot of those matches, he has literally lived up to his nickname, the Scottish Psychopath.
well, I mean, and that's the thing. It's male entertainer of the year. It's not male winner of the year. Were you not entertained?
I believe I gave my nod to Drew as well. I thought Drew kept everybody relevant all year long. Through his stories, he's the one that kept the story with Seth through the beginning half of the year. He's the one that kept that going. He's the one that kept the CM Punk storyline going through social media, through Twitter, through all of the TikToks, all of that stuff, kept all that moving. He's back now, and he's on this bloodline destruction tour thing that he's
Eradication
doing.
tour.
Yeah, so to me, the superstar of the year is Drew McIntyre. As much as I love Cody, Drew gets the nod for me. And I love Damian too. Damian, for me, maybe not be in the superstar of the year category, but if we had like most improved category, it would definitely be Damian Priest without a doubt. Damian Priest has been my highlight of the year as far as superstars go.
Well, shall we get to the winner?
I guess I'm ready to hear the fireworks again.
I was gonna.
More than one royal family.
And it's not an eye roll in a negative way or any of that kind of stuff. I love Cody Rhodes. I have the hat on my head. I've got the weightlifting belt back there that I bought at WrestleMania. I don't hate Cody Rhodes. I just feel Drew McIntyre
very
was
close.
more of a superstar of the year.
Very, very close.
Between Drew and Cody. Wow. I'm shocked that the Yeet Man hadn't slid in there somewhere.
Very close, right behind Drew.
Okay.
So,
But it's Cody Rhodes. He bookends the show. He was the first winner of the night, and he's the last winner of the night.
shall we go over the winners one last time before we say our final goodbyes?
And that's only because we didn't have who is your favorite podcaster of the year? The Guru,
Ryan Fry.
AJ, or TJ?
Ryan Fry. I'm good at
Thank you.
hosting, and I'm good at making graphics.
Thank you.
That's
Thank you.
basically it. I'm good at hosting and making graphics.
TJ just keeps it solidly on the ground.
TJ was worrying about where his shirt was going to be. Oh,
Listen,
want to mention?
I am the tribal chief. I don't need a wise man. I have a guru.
It would have been funny as hell because you have him on a green screen.
I'm so
If
happy
that
it's a
was
different shade.
essay, if it was the same shade, and it's just
No, what's
TJ's
been funnier
head.
is AJ's been the one getting swallowed up by the green screen all episode.
Even this one too?
I can see you right now. Your head just half disappeared when you did that.
It's been fun.
This has been a lot of fun.
That's our first awards.
That was the
we got
nerdy.
dressed up.
Oh yeah, yeah. We did. We. This is the second time this year we dressed up for the occasion. If you're looking for the first time, tune into the 2024 Hall of Fame induction ceremonies. If you look to the left and above everybody that's talking, you'll see our beautiful tuxedo T-shirts right there. As we thought it was a formal event, we got dressed for the event.
It's the right
Right.
side. It's the right side.
Whatever. Look for the colorful shirts.
You can't miss us.
We stand out like a sore thumb. It's three fat asses wearing different colors. It's not
but-
doesn't like it doesn't blend in.
Number one, this was my idea. I will say this was my idea. Number two, it was either Ryan or TJ that said we need to do the Dumb and Dumber colors.
Well, yeah, because it was originally me and you having a discussion, and I said we need the Dumb and Dumber colors, and then he's like, "I'll do it too," and it's like, "Well, you're getting green."
And then
Well,
they
this
all
isn't
had
just
their-
any green. Eagles fans will be proud to know this is Kelly green.
Either way, it's a tuxedo T-shirt. That means
shirt.
we're formal, but we're also here to party, and
Which
that
we
was
were.
the most important part.
We were there to party all the way through everybody that was inducted that night.
And if you happen to be sitting in that area, you sons of bitches stole my Bray Wyatt shirt that I can't find anymore. So,
No, really?
yeah. That's alright.
All right, everybody.
I still think you left it in the hotel room.
That
Nah,
hotel room was
I-
empty.
yeah, I left it on the seat in the arena. But my loss, your gain. Either way, the money went to the family, so
Yeah,
I'm fine
there you
with
go.
that.
All right, everybody. Well, thank you for tuning in. This was our first first annual event of the Wrestling with Nerds Nerdy Awards. Congratulations to all the winners. We will tag them, mostly Ryan. We'll tag them on their social medias with probably the clip of them getting announced that they won. Again, mostly Ryan because he knows all their handles. Thank you guys for joining me tonight and helping. It's the background. You're breaking kayfabe, TJ.
He's wanted to show off his shelf for like 3 days now. He now has a shelf. He's copying the guru. He's trying to be the guru.
I had a
Just
shelf.
trying to mimic the executioner of excellence or something like that. I don't know.
The
I had a
excellence
shelf
of execution.
longer than you did
Sure.
for nerd stuff. Longer than
Yeah,
both
but
of
you had
you.
like Funkos. I've got a variety of things.
I have 110 Funkos on one shelf.
I have Funko.
Yeah, I got an Alexa Bliss and Lily. I got my title belt.
I got
Some
Braun
Gundams,
Strowman,
some
AJ Styles, and
Zoids.
The Rock.
The Transformers are gonna be there. NASCAR stuff.
I have
Little
Hulk Hogan,
football
Hollywood Hulk
helmets.
Hogan, and two
Ichiban number one.
and two versions of the Macho Man Randy Savage Funkos, and then all my Hulk Hogan. Well, not all of them, but the shelf behind me is full of Hulk Hogan, Macho Man, and I think I even have a stupid Dingo Warrior back there somewhere.
All right, everybody. Well, once again, thank you guys for tuning in. Take care, and we'll see you
Next year,
next year.
Yeet.
have a safe New Year.